which I forgot about Wrath. I mean, I didn't forget about Wrath, but like I forgot. Like, I wanted to crack his soul open and read him like a book, discovering the deepest secrets and stories of how he came to be. I hate you, but I want to kiss you. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, but I want you. I hate you, I want you. Like the back and forth. God, whiplash, okay? What exactly happened in this book? Great question, because I don't know. I do have a question. Is this book still considered YA? Because it's not. If you're going to write an enemies to lovers, keep up the enemies. Hello, book friends. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylin, and I hope you guys are doing so lovely. As you can see from the title, today's video is a 24-hour reading vlog featuring the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and I couldn't be more excited. Now, we're just going to act like I haven't read this series already because past Kaylin forgot to record an intro. So just pretend I haven't read it, okay? Okay. So this video is actually the second video in my finishing series? I don't know what to call it yet. But the first video I did was these Violent Delights, and then now I'm doing Kingdom of the Wicked. I had so much fun doing these Violent Delights, so I thought, why not do it for Kingdom of the Wicked? I wanted to finish the series anyways. Kingdom of the Feared just came out, and I thought, why not do it? So before this intro gets any longer, let's just jump into the series. So here we have the Kingdom of the Wicked series. We have, of course, Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Curse, and Kingdom of the Feared. And they are all written by Carrie Maniscalco. I don't think I mentioned her, but yes, Carrie Maniscalco wrote the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, but also she wrote Stalking Jack the Ripper, and those kind of books. I forget the other books in the series, but yes. So this series is a YA fantasy, I believe, although arguably I think it turned into like an adult fantasy series, or a new adult at least. I'm not quite sure, I didn't do research. So I'm just going to read the synopsis of Kingdom of the Wicked because we all know how I do with giving you guys a brief on books. I am not great at it, so I'm just going to read the synopsis. Two sisters, one brutal myrtle, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself, and an intoxicating romance. Amelia and her twin sister Victoria are witches who live secretly among humans, avoiding notice and persecution. One night, Victoria misses dinner service at the family's reowned Sicily restaurant. Amelia soon finds the body of her beloved twin, desecrated beyond belief. Devastated, Amelia sets out to find her sister's killer and to seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means using dark magic that's been long forbidden. Then Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked, princes of hell she has been warned against and tales since she was a child. Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, tasked by his master with solving a series of women's murders on the island. But when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. And yes, so I will let you guys know, I have read Kingdom of the Wicked last year, so this was a reread for me, just Kingdom of the Wicked. The other two books in the series I have not read, so those were fairly new for me. I tried to keep this vlog as spoiler-free as possible, but I will put up slides when spoilers are coming just to be safe. But I think I'm going to let past Kaylin take it away and enjoy. Ignore the mess, y'all. Just ignore it. Okay, I'm here with my first update. I'm an hour and 20 minutes into this 24-hour readathon. I'm on page 102, chapter 14. This book is reading so fast. I forgot how quick this book read, and that's a good thing for me because I have all three to fit in the 24-hour time. Well, stopwatch 24-hour time. But yes, so I'm going to give you updates on what's been happening. I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. But with me, it is... I suck at, like, not saying spoilers because, I don't know, I just suck at describing books. Anyways, so spoiler-free as possible. If I say any spoilers, I'm so very sorry, but... in this book, we are following Amelia, who is a witch, and she has this twin sister named Victoria, and Victoria is sort of, I guess you could say, the bad sister. Like, she's the rebel child. She's the one that goes out late. She's the one that, you know, does magic she's not supposed to do, and she's the one willing to try stuff. Meanwhile, Amelia is kind of the more reserved sister. And they wear this amulet around their neck to protect them, and they were told never put it together, and one night they put it together when they were 8, and a hellhound started howling, and they like never told anyone. So fast forward 10 years later when they're both 18, it was the night of the festival, and Amelia went out to retrieve her basket from the brothers because she cooks for them, and she found this demon over Victoria's body with blood on him, and soon to find out that she's dead, and something killed her. So Amelia basically vows that she's going to find whoever did it and kill him, and she finds I keep wanting to call her Victoria. She finds Victoria's diary. Basically, she was into some dark magic, some demon stuff. She was summoning demons, and so Amelia tries it herself, and she summons Wrath, which I forgot about Wrath. I mean, I didn't forget about Wrath, but like I forgot like how seductive he is. I don't know. I just picture him very like suave, smooth, seductive, like a little bit of a narcissist. You know, the bad boy. You know, the boy you are supposed to stay away from, but you can't. You know, that type of boy is Wrath. And she summons him, and basically he wants to do a blood trade where she is protected. He can sense if she's in danger, he can come to her, because he wants to figure out who killed her sister also, so he can stop him and so it doesn't kill again. So that's basically where I'm at in this book, and I think I'm making pretty good progress. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading, and I will catch you guys later. Woohoo! We look so good. Anyways, I haven't given you guys any updates because I am behind on this reading schedule. I have less than 60 pages to finish this book, so I'm trying just to finish this book, and I'll give you my full wrap-up thoughts. But I'm on chapter 40. If you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. But these 2 lines, I was like, oh, yeah. I wanted him to devour me, or maybe I wish to devour him. Okay. I'm going to keep reading, and I will be back when I finish this book, hopefully looking more put together. Okay, so I have finished Kingdom of the Wicked, and the first time I read this book, which I think I've said that in my intro, the first time I read this book, I gave it a 5-star. And I just remember being so in love with this book and this world and the characters. I ate this book up. This time around, I mean, granted, I did finish it literally in 24 hours. So I still ate this book up. But I think it's because the writing is so easy to read. The world is so easy to get immersed into. The characters are so easy to like and get attached to and grow to hate or grow to love, or just like, you know. And this time around, I'm not going to give it a 5-star, and I think just because I have grown so much in my reading taste and I know like what a 5-star book is, so I'm going to give this a 3.5, but that's still a very good rating. The reason why I am going to give this a 3.5 instead of a 5-star, I think it's because we didn't really see much character growth or development in this book. And I know this is part of a trilogy, but I still suspected to see like a little bit of growth from Amelia. But we didn't really get much. This book I think was obviously it's setting it up for the rest of the series, but I think this book did a very good job in setting up what is to come in this series. I haven't read the other two books yet, so I guess we'll see as time will tell. This book, the way it left off was really good. I feel like the ending to this book was something to make people excited about reading the second book, needing the second book, craving the second book. And I think Kerri Maniscalco did that very, very well. Wrath, can we talk about Wrath for a second? Because God bless him, I love Wrath. I don't know what it is about that type of boy, the sarcastic asshole who hates everyone but has a soft spot for someone. I don't know what it is about those characters, but I'm just like, oh God, marry me, you know? So, I love Wrath. I'm excited to see how Wrath and Amelia's relationship blossoms in the next two books. I've heard the next book is very smutty. It's like, this is like PG. I've heard that Kingdom of the Curse is like rated R, so I'm like kind of here for it, but also I don't want that to be the entire like thing of the book. I don't want it to be a subplot. Like I don't want it to just be about like the smut, you know. I'm not into that, so I don't mind a little smutty stuff in my books. I really don't. You know, I really do like it, but I just don't want my whole book to be smut, you know? What happened, I guess I should tell you guys what happened in this book, huh? Because I haven't even said that. So, basically after the blood trade, or blood debt, whatever it's called, Amelia started visiting the other brothers, so Envy and Pride, I think, or it's just Envy and Lust. I don't know. Oh, Envy and Greed. She started, like, investigating on her own, and she realized she kind of needed help. She was kind of stubborn in wanting Wrath's help, so she started doing it on her own until one night, like, Wrath saves her, and he's, like, he makes a deal with her when she's kind of, like, out of it, and so then she agrees to work with him so that they can find this mystery out together and find out who killed her sister, but also help him. And we also find out that Wrath, I mean, we knew he had his own agenda, but we didn't know what it was. He was kind of very secretive about it, and we found out what it was, and meaning he needed a soul to complete, like, this curse that was on him. And we also found out the summoning spell she did was actually a marriage spell, and they're married. And she basically sold herself to House Pride at the end of this book and is a queen of House Pride. We also found out that she was a shadow witch, which basically means she's half demon, half witch. There's demon blood in her or something. And Raph at one point, I do remember laughing at this. Raph, she was like, well, how'd that happen? And he goes, please don't make me explain how children are made. Like, you do know how children are made. And she's like, I'm like, you're sarcastic, but I'm here for it. I love you. Also, one thing in this book that I really love is the food description. I think I've only read one other Kerri Maniscalco book, and it was Stalking Jack the Ripper. Yes, it was Stalking Jack the Ripper. When I read that, I remember it not being my favorite book, and I forget what I rated it, but I will say the way Kerri Maniscalco was descriptive about the atmosphere, the surroundings, the clothes, the food, all that, she did a very good job. And the same thing in this book. She wrote food so good in this book that I was hungry. My stomach was growling when I was reading this book, especially at one point when her and Raph were sitting down at a restaurant and she was having scampi and she was describing the lemon and how she wants to try it. I don't know about you guys, but I love me a shrimp scampi. Like, the lemon, the garlic, the butter. Oh my God, it's so good. And I was like, wow, I need some of that in my life. Yeah, but that's basically all my thoughts about this book. I'm excited to see where this series, like, takes us. I did finish this book. Let me get my timer. I finished this book in 4 hours and 54 minutes, so just under 5 hours. So I think that's very good timing. I'm hoping the other two books I can read in the same amount of time. We'll see, because I know Kingdom of the Curse is long. And I know Kingdom of the Feared is probably long too, because it's the last in the book. It's the last in the trilogy. Oh my god, another thing that I forgot to mention is I'm sorry if this review of this book was like all over the place. I feel like it really was, and I feel like editing Galen is going to be so mad at me for like jumping all over the place with this review. But if you guys watch my weekly vlogs, you know how I do reviews. I'm very scatterbrained. But yes, I am going to now start on with Kingdom of the Curse, and I think I'm going to update you more during this book just because I am reading it for the first time, and this book I have already read, so like none of my thoughts were like new to me. I guess like I remember everything that happened in this book, so like any thought I had during the book I already knew, so I think I'm going to like update more with Kingdom of the Curse. But I've heard nothing much happens in Kingdom of the Curse, so I guess we'll see, and we will find out together. This is crooked, isn't it? It's fine. I'm just going in for like 2 seconds. So I'm literally 29 pages into this book, right? And this is a special edition from Waterstone. It's signed. So typically with these special edition books, I do not annotate in. Sometimes I do. I think the only one I have annotated is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and then immediately I regretted it because that edition is... I love that edition of that book, and having tabs sticking out of it, I really regret. I mean, I can take the tabs out, but... So I'm not going to annotate this edition, but there's a line that I really just want to, like, highlight and, like, stuff. So I'm going to read this line that I really want to, like, annotate, and it's really, like, I really want to annotate it, but I'm not going to. Maybe if I ever reread this series again, I'll get the paperback version. This version was so expensive, especially living in America, getting this shipped over. This is like $50. So I'm not going to write in a $50 book. That's just me. But I'm going to read this line now. I wanted to crack his soul open and read him like a book, discovering the deepest secrets and stories of how he came to be. Same. Okay, I'm going to go back to reading. I was just reading this, and I really like this because this is so... true. This is, again, something I would annotate being, like, true. For context clues, Amelia and Wrath just arrived in the Seven Circle thing right outside of it, and they have to camp because they have to travel through all the rings to get to House Pride. So they have to camp, they have to travel by foot, they can't travel by magic yet. It's considered, like, I guess you could say, like, rude to travel in magic your first time in the Seven Circle. So they're camping, right? And they have to sleep, like, in the same tent area. Plus, it's cold, it's snowing. So, to keep warm, like, you know, they gotta sleep kind of close. And she's having these thoughts about him, like, you know, those thoughts. And I hardly recognize this openly desirous version of myself. Back home, women were taught that those once were evil, wrong. Men could indulge in their basier needs, and no one called them ungodly. They were ranks, rogues, scandalous, but not ostracized for their behavior. A man with a healthy sexual appetite was considered to be full of vitality, a prime catch. Experience for his partner, should he ever decide to wed, while women were taught to remain virginal, pure, as if our once were dirty and shameful things. True, though. That is so true. Even today, it is so true. Like, I think it's maybe getting a little bit better, but it's like, I remember, are we going to open this discussion? No, we're not going to open this discussion, but I'll just say, I remember, like, in health class learning about sex ed, and, like, even growing up, just, like, your surroundings and your peers, you were never, like, it was never focused on the woman's pleasure or the woman's wants or desires. It was always the men. Even if you look at the, industry, like, you see it's always geared towards the men, you know, like, it's just like, when is it going to change that women are allowed to have these wants and desires? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, going back to reading. I mean, honestly, I love all the wrath content we're getting in this book. It's what I needed. Hi guys, ignore. I don't even know what that is. Hi. So I'm on page 46 of Kingdom of the Cursed, and I am liking it, but here's the thing, is Wrath seems like a totally different character. And I don't know if it's because in the first book he was obviously hiding a lot of who he was, and he was being all nice. Not nice, but he was like, you know, he had the attitude of like, I hate everyone except you kind of thing. And then in this book, he's just more like the sexual jokes and remarks and comments are like amped up to like a million in this book. And there was literally like little to none in Kingdom of the Wicked. If they were like sprinkled, but this, like, that's all that's been talked about in the first 50 pages of this book. So I see why people made the remark of how the smut is like amped up in this book, and how it seems like to me Carrie Maniscalco is trying too hard to put in the smut. Like, I don't mind it, but like at the same time I wish there was less of the sexual remarks and jokes and comments and stuff like that within the first 50 pages. And to me, I have to remind myself that this book takes place like right after the second book. Like, it picks up from where the last book left off, and they have known each other, and I think this tension was building. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, it feels like she's trying too hard. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading. I thought I would try a different angle to have my bookshelves in the back of me because I feel like I'm going to be sitting at my desk a lot during this vlog, so you guys are going to have a lot of clips with the desk, so I thought I'd switch up the angle. Anyways, so I am on chapter 13, page 174 of Kingdom of the Curse, and so basically, I am liking this book. Okay, I am liking it. But the thing that I'm like really not loving is how much it seems that Carrie Maniscalco is like inserting the sexual comments, jokes, scenes. Like it's on every page. And I don't, like I've said, I don't mind a little smut or whatever, but I don't want it to be the entire plot of the book. And I feel like that's all we've gotten so far. I feel like we're 175 pages in. We haven't really gotten too far with the plot. It's not really, moving along. I mean, we just got the big twist. I don't know if this is the big twist, but we just got a twist, which was very predictable. And I don't know if we were supposed to be shocked about this twist. Like, if you read the first book, you kind of know where this is going. And if you're reading, like, while reading this book, you're like, well, duh. Like, duh. So I don't know if it's supposed to be shocking. Maybe to some people it was, but I'm like, it's so, like, how could you not know? And I don't know. Amelia kind of annoys me. I'm not even gonna lie. She annoyed me a lot in the first book. This book, she's really definitely annoying me. I love Wrath. I still think he's just the best. Also, the constant, like, I hate you, but I want to kiss you. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, but I want you. I hate you, I want you. Like, the back and forth. God, whiplash, okay? But I'm going to keep reading. I'm hoping to finish this today. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish this today. We shall see. If not, I'll get very close to finishing it. But I don't have any work until Sunday, and it's currently Wednesday, so I have ample amount of time. The only thing I have to do is go to my parents' tomorrow. So there'll be a big chunk of time tomorrow I won't be able to read, which I'll probably be editing then. But yeah, I should, if I can finish this before I go to my parents' house tomorrow, I'll be in good hands, because then Friday and Saturday I have no plans, so I can finish Kingdom of the Feared then. But anyways, I'm gonna go back to reading, and I will update you guys when I have. Wow, I look fabulous. Maybe if I move this more this side. Hi, hello. So I just have to come in here and say this thing. I don't think this is a spoiler, because we all know that Amelia is currently in hell with all the 7 princes. Is that what they are? I'm really bad at this. She's in hell, basically. Let me turn this around so you guys don't get the freaking reflection, and now I can't even see myself to make sure I'm in frame, so hopefully I'm in frame. But, yes, so we're currently in hell. Anyways, Amelia just went to visit Prince Envy. Is that how they, like, yeah, Prince Envy, and she was literally not even there for 24 hours. And she comes back and has, like, a training session with Anner. Is that how you say his name? Probably not, because I can't pronounce anything to save my life. And Wrath comes in and has his bit of own training session with her. And he's like, you have to call me master, do this, that. And I was like, why am I getting all hot and bothered reading this? It's mental illness, I think. Anyways, I'm going to go back to reading. I'm on page 253. That's my update. Okay. Hi guys, I am here because I finished Kingdom of the Curse last night, which for a second there I thought I wasn't going to, but we did it, we pulled through and we finished it. So before I get into this, I'm changing my rating from Kingdom of the Wicked. Kingdom of the Wicked I gave 3.5, but after reading this, I'm going to give Kingdom of the Wicked 4 stars because this is the 3-star book. Okay, so what exactly happened in this book? Great question, because I don't know. I feel like the whole middle of this book was a waste. Like, it was just, to describe this book, I would say you are inside Amelia's head almost the entire time, and she's basically having a porno playing of her and Wrath. That's basically what it is. Sprinkle in some of the other, like, brothers. There you go. That's what it is. That's what this book is. I understand why people said nothing happens. Like, the plot, what was it? Nothing really happened. I get it, because it didn't. However, I did enjoy myself with this book, weirdly enough. It was, like, an easy read. But this definitely, okay, like, I feel like if you were to read the first, I don't know, maybe 100 pages, and then just skip to the last 50 pages, you would have gotten the gist. That's basically all we needed. We didn't need that, like 300 pages that were in the middle. We didn't need it because nothing happened. This book, I do have a question. Is this book still considered YA? Because it's not. Although, I'm not the type of person to believe, like, certain things shouldn't be in YA, but just from what I'm used to reading in YA, this doesn't seem YA to me. This is adult, right? Did Carrie Maniscalco do the same thing that Sarah J. Maas did? Like, she wrote Avatar as YA, and then the second book was new adult. Is that what this is going on with? Because I feel like this is what it is. The smut is definitely turned up in this book. It was kind of, I think I've said this before in, like, a past clip that I talked about, that it seemed like Carrie Maniscalco wanted to make that a big plot in the book and wanted to, like, she was doing too much, okay? It was inserted on every single page, and I'm not one to be like, oh, no smut. Like, I love the smut, but, like, I think I said I don't want that to be the full book, and I feel like that's what this book was about, was the smut, and I just feel like that's a waste of my time reading this. Honestly, I'm just going to be honest. The plot twist, the big plot twist, I think I said there was one plot twist, but there was an even bigger plot twist. Predictable. I don't understand if that was supposed to be like a shock to the reader, because if you've read the first book, you can put 2 and 2 together and you would figure it out. So I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like a, oh my god, didn't see that coming type moment, or like a, yeah, well, I guess that type of moment. Because I guess that, I think I wrote it in the first book even. I'll have to flip back, but I think in one of my annotations when I first read this book, I wrote is something blank. I don't want to say it because I don't want to give anything away. So, yeah. Can we talk about the back and forth between Amelia and Wrath? I got whiplash, y'all. It was like, I hate you, don't touch me, I hate you, touch me, I hate you, marry me, I hate you, I love you, I'm in love with you, I hate you. Can I just say Carrie Maniscalco does not write enemies to lovers very well? Sorry, but she doesn't. Enemies to lovers is supposed to be slow burn, not the back and forth, at least in my opinion. This was not slow burn at all. Like, we didn't get the slow burn. I needed the slow burn, and we didn't get the slow burn. It wasn't delivered. I am kind of scared about the third book. I'm hoping the third book redeems the whole series. If the third book is better than this book, I will be happy. But if it's worse than this book, I'll be so mad. I'll be like, what's she doing? But I'm excited to see where the third book goes and the conclusion of Amelia and Wrath's story. Like, I'm very curious to see what happens. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts with Kingdom of the Cursed. Pretty much the same as everyone has been saying with this book. But yeah, those are my thoughts. So I am going to now carry on Kingdom of the Feared, the last book in the series. You guys, we've made it. And I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So I finished this book at 10 hours and 17 minutes. So it did take me a while to read this book because I think my last time update that I updated you guys with Kingdom of the Wicked, it was 4 hours and something. So it did take me longer, but this book was also 130-ish pages longer than Kingdom of the Wicked. And I was watching... I do this thing where I watch shows while I read, and it takes me twice as long to read. I don't know why I do it. Probably the ADD. Probably why I do it. That's why it took me longer to read this book. But I still have a lot of time in this 24 hours to read Kingdom of the Feared, so yeah. But I will talk to you guys when I have more updates. Hello vlog, sorry for this weird angle. Quite frankly, I'm way too lazy to put my camera on my tripod, so you're sitting on my bookshelf. At least you get to see like my desk in the background. Anyway, so I just want to come on here because I have not spoken to you guys yet since starting Kingdom of the Feared, but I am halfway through Kingdom of the Feared. I'm on chapter 15, page 207, so I think it's about halfway. If not, I'm very close to being halfway. For time reference, we are 12 hours and 49 minutes into this whole 24-hour time thing. We're making pretty good time. But I just wanted to come on here and tell you what's happening. So I've tried to keep this vlog spoiler-free as possible, but with this being the third book in this series, I don't think I can because it will spoil the whole entire thing. So I will put something up before each spoiler in this vlog that says alert, spoiler, or spoiler alert, whatever you want to say. So just know that this part of this video will be spoiler filled. I'm sorry. But basically what we are following is it's literally picked up from where Kingdom of the Curse left off. So the last line in Kingdom of the Curse was, "Then take me to bed, husband," or whatever it was. It was something like that. And literally that's where it picked up. It picked up right with them in bed, except right as they were about to, you know, do the deed, she got swept away into the shadow realm with her sister, and we find out that she has Dominic, which is the shapeshifter. Is that what they're called in this world? Basically a werewolf. And they are like together. They're like lovers. And her sister Victoria is evil. She's an evil witch. And she kind of wants Amelia to partner up with her, and she wants her to like remember who she is. Because basically this whole time Amelia has been having like flashbacks of someone. And she wasn't really sure if it was her her in the past or like someone else's flashbacks. So we now know that it was Amelia in those flashbacks with Wrath. And Victoria is like, don't you dare like make your marriage bond official. Like, don't do it. Like, I'm warning you now, don't do it. So she does it. And her Wrath finally do the deed, you know. Great time. And we also find out that, well, I guess a big thing that we find out is Victoria is the goddess of the dead. She's the death witch or something like that. Let me find it. I don't know. I'm too lazy to look. She basically rules over the dead. And she can basically rip someone's heart out and then put it back in them in enough time and they'll still live. So she can basically kill someone and unkill someone. And she's evil. And she really wants Amelia to team up with her because she wants to restore their house. We find out that Amelia is the goddess of fury. Is that correct? I don't know. Can you tell I suck at retaining information? Like, I try, but my brain's just like with some shit. And I think it's because I'm not really connected to these characters, this story. Like, I think Kingdom of the Curse ruined it for me, if I'm being honest. So that's probably why I'm not retaining a lot of this information, because I just don't really care about the characters in the storyline. I am interested in it and seeing how this whole story wraps up. But, yeah, so she's the goddess of fury, and we find out their mother actually is Celeste, which is the person that makes the potions and tonics for Wrath. And that's actually their mother. And we find out that Amelia and Victoria were actually, they have had mortal hearts put into them, and they're actually immortal. They did this whole scheme like years ago, 20 years ago, where they, no one knew they were twins, and they had this scheme on the demons to like trick Wrath into finding pride with Amelia, thinking it was Amelia, but really it was Victoria, but they're twins, so no one knows. But Amelia actually really fell in love with Wrath, and vice versa, so she couldn't do it, and that's all that she remembers so far what happened. And so we actually find out that the witches caused them to like prevent it. The witches had something to do with them not really remembering, and it had to do with them actually having another set of twin witches' hearts in them. So that's where I'm at. We just met the first witch. Hopefully that whole thing made sense. I could be missing stuff. Oh, I guess I am. Nona, their grandmother, Victoria, dragged into the... She didn't drag her in. She actually... there was a line in Kingdom of the Wicked was, "Go, run away, I'll find you," is what Nona said to Amelia last, and she actually did. There were signs. She was locked out of hell, or she was locked from the Seven Kingdom, or the Seven Circle. Nona locked the gates. So she's been there, and Victoria found her and dragged her back, and Nona was actually the one to kill those twin witches to protect them. That makes sense. But yeah, so what I'm feeling in this book is adult, right? It's not YA. Is it new adult? If this is YA, I'll be shocked. I think the smut in this book is bringing me out of this story, and I don't know why, because I'm not one to, like, say, ooh, no smut. Like, I like smut in my books. I really do. But I think it was just Kingdom of the Curse, how it was so present and on every single page. I just was, like, had enough of it. And so going into this book, everything in this book is geared towards, like, the sex and their feelings toward each other and the lust they have and, like, what they want to do to each other, and they want to rip each other's clothes. Like that, if I wanted to read a smut book, I would read a smut book. I wanted to read a fantasy. And I feel like that is dragging me out of the story. That's just my opinion, and I wish it would stop. I hope it, like, the obsessiveness with the smut stops from this point on. But yeah, I don't know. I don't, like I said, I'm not really caring for this story anymore. I feel like Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Curse and Kingdom of the Feared were written by two separate different authors, and I want to know, does anyone else feel that way? Because that's how I feel with this book. Like, I feel like Kingdom of the Wicked was such a great first installment and made me excited for the rest of the series, and I feel like it just went with the last two books. Yeah, that's my feelings with this. We'll see where this goes. I'll probably come back if I have even more updates, but most likely I'll come back when I finish the book. But I'm going to continue reading, and I will update you guys later. Vlog. Sorry for this really awful lighting, but I'm currently reading Kingdom of the Feared. Wyatt is here with me, and so is my Diet Coke. But I just want to come on here really quickly because I forgot to mention that the reason why they have this curse on them in the first place is because of the first witch. She placed the curse on them. So I'm not sure if I said that or not. I can't really remember. But anyways, so another thing just happened that I wanted to talk about is the curse. I think the curse to break, Wrath has to fall in love with Amelia. I'm thinking that's how it goes. I'm gathering because Wrath and Lust went down to the fighting rings and Amelia is left on her own, and she went to see Celeste, and there was a spell. And there was this liquid that looks like the drink that Wrath has been drinking, and it turns out it is the drink, and it is to prevent the ill effects of love or other strong emotions from taking root. Basically, the curse hasn't attacked again because he's been drinking this, preventing himself from feeling those feelings for Amelia. And that, when I read that, I was like, well, that's kind of a slap in the face. Or also, is it like a loving, like he cares so much for me that he's making himself not feel what he really feels for me to protect us? Is that what it is? I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to reading. I just thought I'd share. Okay, I'm back again. So I gotta talk really fast because my battery is flashing at me. I didn't know this battery was dead. But, so as the story unfolds, I'm liking it more and more. As we get into the mystery of like the curse and how to break the spell lock and how they start to remember themselves, I am liking it more and more. We just got a little bit of information that Amelia and Victoria were never in Sicily. They were actually still in hell, off of the island called the Shifting Isles, which basically it's where all the mortal souls are like sent off to, and they don't even realize that it is not where they think they are. It's a glamour put over it. That shook me. I didn't see that coming. Most things in this book I have seen coming, and I guess, but that, I didn't think that. I truly thought they were in Sicily. So yeah, that just happened, but I am liking this more and more. I'm liking it, well, I am liking it more than Kingdom of the Curse for sure, but yeah. We'll see if I like it more than Kingdom of the Wicked, but I'm gonna keep reading. Alright, you guys, so I finished Kingdom of the Fear last night, and I gave this a 3-star. So let's talk about it, because I'm here to talk about it and wrap up this vlog. I was very disappointed in this book. It was a huge letdown. I felt like the ending to this whole entire series was just underwhelming, if I'm being honest. The whole time while reading this one and Kingdom of the Curse, it felt like someone else wrote these books and not Carrie Maniscalco, and it also seemed like Carrie Maniscalco was trying to make these adults. And which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like if you're going to write a YA fantasy, why not stick to a YA fantasy? Like, not every fantasy romance needs a ton of spice or smut or stuff like that in it, and I feel like Carrie Maniscalco tried to do that with both Kingdom of the Curse and Kingdom of the and Kingdom of the Fear. They just felt like totally, completely different books. And I don't know, they were fun, but you know, this book especially, I just felt like Wrath seemed like a totally different character. If I'm being honest with you, it did not seem like the same Wrath that we read in the past 2 books, or even actually the first book. And I don't know, I just, again, felt like Carrie Maniscalco was inserting smut when she could have just left some of it out. I feel like that kind of took over the whole story, and it actually brought me out of the story. Yeah, I was just very disappointed in how this story ended. I feel like maybe if she just wrote Kingdom of the Wicked and then just this as the second book in the series and just made it like a duology, I feel like I would have liked it a lot better. Yeah, so very disappointed in this. Gave it a 3-star. I will say I did like Amelia more in this book. I felt like she grew as a character. She got her shit together, and she like really became like this badass like queen as we needed, and I loved that. But I don't know, I just felt like the ending was very rushed. I feel like at one moment Victoria and hi Wyatt, you want to say hi? Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. Hello. Okay, I have to film. I felt like one moment Victoria and Amelia like hated each other, and then you turn the page and they're like our best friends, sisters, they love each other again, and I'm just like, it was very rushed. The whole ending was rushed. I don't know, like I said, very underwhelming. But yeah, let's talk about the whole entire series now. Okay, so overall this series, it went from being very good and like really strong first book and high hopes for the rest of the series, and I just feel like it just went, and then the last 2 books were just like huge letdowns. I know I've said this before, but like the second book, I feel like we could have literally just read 150 pages, maybe 200 pages of the book, and that would have been a book. Like, you would have got the justice. The whole middle of that book was just awful. I feel like because of that, it took me out of the story and took me out of like really liking these characters and connecting to the characters. The whole world that Carrie Maniscalco created, I really liked. Like the 7 circles, the 7 princes, like hell. I thought it was so good, and I thought the concept was good, the plot was good. I really liked the characters. Like in the first book, I loved Wrath. Wrath, I felt like was your perfect enemy, but also has love for just this one person, but is not going to say it kind of character. Like I felt like he was very good. He was a very strong character. And then as soon as the second book came out and you're reading throughout the second book, you kind of see him switch from, oh, I'm no longer the sarcastic asshole. I'm a puppy. I'll melt for you. And I'm like, if you're gonna write an enemies to lovers, keep up the enemies thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need an enemies to lovers, especially if it's a trilogy. I need that enemy to be like a strong thing up until like maybe the middle end of the second book. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to hate each other. I feel like we got that enemies to lovers in the first book, but they weren't exactly lovers yet. You know what I'm saying? They still kind of hated each other. I mean, they were attracted to each other, but it wasn't like nothing. And then as soon, like, second book, where'd that all go? Like, I feel like even though she was saying she didn't like him and she hated him, you still felt that undertone of her, like, really loving him and, you know, not giving in, but, you know, you felt that undertone, especially with both of them, that they're not really enemies. They don't really hate each other. And I feel like that really just ruined it. I also hated how it wasn't very much a slow burn. Like, I feel like we got that slow burn in the first book, and the second book, where was it? I don't know. The second book was literally us reading Amelia's inner monologue, and it was basically a porno about her and Wrath and what she wants Wrath to do to her. And I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with that, but if I wanted to read that type of book, I would have picked up a smut book. I was not expecting that in this book. And it just, I don't know. It wasn't it for me. I was very disappointed. I feel like, I just said this, but like, I feel like a different author wrote Kingdom of the Curse and Kingdom of the Feared. Like, I feel like Kingdom of the Wicked was one author, and then they switched, and it was like a completely different author with a completely different direction of the story. And I'm just like, well, shit. I'm just like, well, there goes my likeness for this story. I don't know. Those are all my thoughts. Overall, this is a fun series to read. I know it seems like I'm giving this series like a lot of shit, but like, this is a fun series to read. It's easy to read. It's easy to, like, I mean, yes, I got lost in the story, but I still wasn't like obsessed with it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. But, you know, I think overall, I think the series gives a 3-star vibes, like, overall, the entirety of it, which isn't bad, but it wasn't, like, what I was expecting. Because I was looking at reviews on Goodreads, and, like, there were so many 4 and 5 stars for the last 2 books, and I'm like, where am I missing something? Because I don't know. And then I was looking at 2-star reviews that were like, this is not a bad series and no means, but like, I just feel like the writing. And I was like, yeah, I agree. But anyways, if you guys have read this series, let me know your thoughts down below, because I would love to know your thoughts about this series. And for our time update, I finished the last book in 14 hours and 46 minutes. I will put up the timer thing here so you guys can see. I feel like it was really good timing. Granted, that's all I did was read these books, but you know what? I had to do it for the video. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you here. And if you don't already, follow me on my social medias. They're always linked down below. Check the description. I have links for everything down below, and I will catch you guys in my next video.